One of the hardest struggles I see most people going through is when they don't have any time to themselves. But then I will sit back and watch these people, and nearly all of them give all their time away. If you're somebody who's responsible for others, your time, a lot of it is taken up worrying about or being that person for those people. So when we don't get a lot of time to ourselves, it can be really difficult to maintain being that person, and not just turning up every day and being in the room, but being the version of ourselves we're trying to be for the people that need us. The thing that I think a lot of people out there struggle with is the concept of rest. Not like we don't understand what it is, but the way it's been sold to us before now. A lot of people sell rest, right, as this idea that it's an hour a day, or it's breathing exercises, yoga, meditation, journaling, whatever it is. If that works for you, by the way, that's absolutely fine. But if you are anything like me and you look at that and you go, I don't have that time, or I can't afford that course, or whatever it might be, there is an alternative, and it is free. And I call it the 1% Reset. There is a free PDF on this, by the way, linked below in the top of the description. If you do want it, it is there. I encourage you to take it if you are struggling for resets, because it's free and it will help. They are using something I call micro action macro effect. The idea being enough small resets taken over time help you to gain a big effect from that over time, right? We're not trying to feel different after the first one. We're not trying to change the way we live. And we're not taking that time away from the people who need us. Yeah. Here's a wonderful stat that I bring up in nearly all of my videos now. There are 1,440 minutes in every single day. That's such a lovely thing, isn't it? Because when we're saying we can't find any time, we can't find 5 minutes, what we're also saying, and it changes the conversation, is that the people who need me and the responsibilities I carry cannot survive on 1,435 minutes of my day every single day. And that, I'm not saying it's nonsense, because there are people out there who genuinely have less time than others, but 5 minutes compared to 1,435 minutes. And I think that's achievable. And I'm not saying I think it's achievable because I'm sitting here with no responsibilities and no kids and no worries. I care for my partner every day. I have 3 kids every day. I have responsibilities every day. I'm working on YouTube and on my brand every day, right? But the small resets help, because if you think about it, right, if your only time to yourself is like half an hour at the end of the day, everyone's gone to bed, you're literally sat there in front of the TV trying not to fall asleep on the sofa while you're watching the end of the crap telly you could have watched yesterday but you didn't have time for, and that's all the time you get. If that time is taken away from you, or you can't switch off, or something happens, you lose 100% of that time to yourself. If you take 6 5-minute resets throughout your day, which I think is still completely achievable, by the way, and 2 of those get taken away from you, or 5 of them, you're getting more time to yourself in a 5-minute reset than you are, or you were going to, in a half-hour block of time at the end of the day. These resets can be so small and easy. They can be while you're driving to or from work, or picking your kids up from school or dropping them off, while you're making a hot drink, while you're doing some dishes. There's so many different inroads to these. So many. And the worst part of it is that I see a lot of people is that, like I say, they give all their time away. The benefit of these resets is you can still do that and reset at the same time, which sounds counterintuitive, but let's take the idea of like picking the kids up from school or driving to work, right? What I see most people do is fill that time thinking ahead to the next thing, or planning for the next thing, or worrying about what's going on, or stressing about just everything generally, right? That doesn't help calm you down. And this is not a criticism, because I've been there myself. Like I said in a previous video, I used to be called Mr. What If, and I still live and breathe overthinking now. I have to genuinely make an effort not to do it. But the resets do help with that. Instead of taking that time the driving to and from work time to think about work or stress about home life or whatever it is, if you take 5 minutes of that time and you pick out two or three songs you really like, yeah, it doesn't have to be like picking them out. A lot of us have got Spotify or Apple Music or these things now, or radios in the car. Put the radio on, Apple Music, Spotify, whatever it is, and just listen to a few songs on shuffle, right? Have a good old sing, have a bit of a laugh, maybe do some silly voices, impersonate your favorite artist, whatever it might be, right? Spend 5 minutes being you to you. That way, then you're breaking up your day. Instead of spending all day waiting for this tiny gap of time right at the end of your day, you've got little checkpoints throughout the day. So instead of thinking like if your time to yourself starts at 10:30 at night and it's 10:30 in the morning and you're sat in work ready to resign because you're sick of being the person that everybody comes to and goes, "Oh, can you just do this quickly?" and then expecting you to do it without any complaint. Been there, done that too. Instead of waiting another 12 hours for that time, if you've got a reset coming at 11 o'clock when you go and make drinks for everybody, because again, you're expected to do that too, you're half an hour away from the next reset. You go out into the kitchen, put the kettle on, scroll on your phone on TikTok or whatever it is, or you're listening to music, some podcasts or whatever it might be, watching a bit of stuff on your phone when you wait for the kettle to boil. That's time you're getting to yourself that fits into your day, that isn't being taken away from the people around you, and most importantly of all, you're getting benefit from that while still being that person to other people. The reset itself is really simple once you get the hang of it. But if you're still not sure or you've got questions, download the PDF and have a look at it. When I say there's a sign up sheet for this, there is, but it's not one of these generic sign up sheets where you get 8 paragraphs of bullshit every week on what my life's been like recently. I only ever send out stuff when there's free value that I genuinely feel would be helpful to you, like these PDFs. But once you've signed up, you can reach out to me directly and you say, like, look, I've got a question about the video or the PDF, or I see kind of where you're going with this, but it does none of these really fit me. Can we have a discussion about it? Of course we can. Right now, those discussions are free. So if you want to reach out, if you want the PDF, it's there. I encourage you to take it because even if you take it and you try one thing on there, that's one thing you wouldn't have tried before. Whatever you go away thinking, I genuinely hope this video has helped. And if this video has helped, then it's done its job. If you want the PDF, it's in the top of the description. But until the next video, my name has been Daniel Mottram, and I can't wait to catch up with you in a future video.